Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I see myself becoming a contractor, running my own company.
Would you do all construction stuff, or would you just be the contractor for the electrical stuff?
It would just be electrical.
So instead of being paid hourly by somebody, you want to be the electrical contractor that puts bids in for the electrical jobs when they're doing the residential construction?
Yes.
Gotcha, very cool. Now, what do you need to do your own thing, though? Like, do you need to get a specific license or anything?
Yeah, so you have to have 4 years in the field experience. That's a requirement, and you have to pass a trade test and a business management test. And once you do that, then you can continue the process of becoming a contractor. Besides getting your 4 years of experience, there is the Arizona Contractor Center, and they work with NASCLA, N-A-S-C-L-A, who actually puts together the tests for these trades. And so they provide the books, you gotta pay for it of course, but they provide the books that they get the test questions out of. So you go into their study center and you're allowed to highlight the answers. So if you can save up, like $2,500 to pay for the center and the license and everything, you can become a contractor in 4 years.
Okay, so it costs that much, like $2,500
Yep.
to become a contractor, a licensed contractor? And do they break the contractor thing down by what field you're in, like electrical,
Yes,
plumbing,
yes.
heating and cooling, whatever?
Yep.
What advice do you have for anyone that might be interested in being an electrician?
There's a lot of jobs out there right now, depending on where you live, I guess. In Phoenix, it's a rapidly growing city. If there's construction going on, then you're always gonna have a job. Some of the smaller towns where there's nothing, then it'll be harder for you to find work.
Or you may have to travel.
You may have to travel, but there's always opportunity to better yourself no matter what you decide to do. Just make sure you do it well.
Were there any specific classes or anything that you enjoyed that you said, okay, I'd like to work in this field or anything like that?
I liked math and science a lot. I wasn't real interested in English or history and stuff like that. So I guess numbers and like actual outcomes of things, like the science behind stuff, because I like to know how things work.
And would you say that it's easy or hard to find work in your field right now?
It's definitely easy. Even with COVID, there's so many people that are looking for electricians that can't fill positions at their companies. It's just ridiculous. Electricians are on the essential workers list. So I've been out working every day.
Wow.
Since it happened, and without signs of any slowdown for me.
Do you ever have to do any traveling for your job?
Not out of state, no.
Do you mind telling us how much you make?
Yeah, when I started about 20 years ago, I made $12.50. Around this time, I'm making like $18.50. There's a guy at the same company that I work for. I consider him one of the fastest guys. He makes 30.
Do they pay him that just because he's fast?
Yeah.
Now, if you had to break like your workday down into a graph, like what percentage of time would you spend like doing certain things?
So I would say when you get there, you would lay it out, and that takes maybe a half hour to an hour. Drilling should only take 45 minutes. Boxing the house, it can take about an hour and a half, 2 hours. The wiring can take about a day, and that's, running the wire and making it up and everything. And then, sweeping it, nail plating it, that shouldn't take but an hour.
Was there anything that you did in high school that you would recommend other people do?
I can recommend just, stay in school and stick it out. Try not to give up on it. It's really a necessity to have a diploma. Even though there's GEDs out there, it's just easier to do the diploma. And if you're doing good in high school, that's great, but if not, just stick with it until you get out.
Do you have any other advice for people that are not sure what it is that they want to go?
I would say, give construction a try. It's a good thing to get into. It's physically demanding, which is good. I mean, like, you don't have to work out after work. I guess you could, but it kind of keeps you in shape. But
actually, I can understand. When I was a technician and then I went and I didn't do it for like a year, and then I went back to it. The first day back, I was like lifting tires and all this stuff, and I realized I'm like, whoa, this was actually keeping me in shape.
Yeah, so there's that, and if you can stick with it long enough to become a contractor, they make tons of money. They make bank.